I'm Christopher Zweig, and today on CJ at the Movies, I go on vacation with a horror movie and a Hitchcockian thriller, and I also talk about the Oscar snubs and surprises. Let's take a look. Our first movie is Send Help, the latest horror movie from Sam Raimi, who was able to reconnect to his roots and makes a new film that almost feels like a splice between Lord of the Flies and Swept Away. Rachel McAdams plays Linda Little, a dorky employee in a company's planning and strategy department who has to deal with her new sexist boss, Bradley Preston, played by Dylan O'Brien. His dead father promised her a vice president promotion, but he's not willing to honor that promise unless she can prove to him otherwise on a business trip to Bangkok. Their plane gets caught in a storm, and only Linda and Bradley survive and find themselves on a deserted island. Seizing the opportunity to have the upper hand, she plans to keep Bradley on the island, especially since she has better survival skills than he does. Send Help likes to screw with the audience by suggesting they could have a proposal romantic chemistry, and at one point it teases us about having torture porn in the mix, but there's also a lot of blood and gore that helps elevate the comedy a lot better than how Brandy had to deal with poop jokes in the front room. Raimi specializes in the horror genre outside his Spider-Man and Doctor Strange persona, and he also cast McAdams and O'Brien with the right kind of demented attitude and consistency, and has them messing with us about who is good and who is bad on the island. Maybe both of them are bad. This is a lot of twisted and bloody fun, so see it. Our next movie is Shelter, the latest Jason Statham vehicle in which he plays a former Royal Marine who wishes to live out his life as a hermit off the grid off the coast of Scotland. He's trying to avoid bad people who are part of a controversial surveillance program created by Bill Nighy and supervised by Naomi Ackie. He ends up in danger, however, when he rescues his former partner's niece from drowning and travels to society to get her medicine. She's played by Bodhi Ray Brefnack, who currently plays Shakespeare's eldest daughter Susanna in Hamnet. Seeing him as her only friend, it would be inevitable that when he wants to send her away to safety, she has to cry and beg him to come with her, and it would also be inevitable that he would tell her you don't want this life. This is when the film unknowingly tries to go for that overly sentimental approach, and there's also a mostly silent assassin played by French stunt performer Brian Beeger, who is the surveillance program's best assassin and targets both of them. Shelter was directed by Rick Romanois, whose Greenland 2 Migration is currently bombing at the box office. I'm not sure how this movie will fare with audiences, but I'm still not a fan of it. You can tell that Statham wants to be the Charles Bronson of this generation, and he does what he can in this movie. He makes speeches at nightclubs, looks good with a beard, and he slowly shows some sentimentality when it comes to his chemistry with the girl. I don't hate the actor, I like the actor, and he's made some entertaining movies in the past, but his recent films aren't all that exciting or stylish, and Brefnack can be a fine young actress, and she has her moments in Hamnet, but her character is too emotional and sometimes weak to be in a run-of-the-mill action movie like this. She should be placed in a better film on the genre, so skip it. Next up, Islands. And don't let that title confuse you with Sam Raimi's horror film Send Help, because this one is a drama with more questions than answers. Sam Riley plays a former tennis pro who now lives and works at a holiday resort as a tennis coach for tourists. He's quite disenchanted with his life until he finds fascination in a couple played by Jack Farthing and Stacy Martin, who manage to book private lessons for their son. Riley even arranges for them to have a better hotel room, and they have some more fun on the island where he makes an ideal tour guide for them, and he may have finally found his oasis, until the husband goes away after a crazy night and the film wants to have that Hitchcock tone. Islands introduces us to these people and what has unfolded in their lives. It's not the easy, straight-to-the-point drama that you're used to. It's a challenging and thought-provoking independent film that makes you think about the choices and directions, all specialized by John Ole Gerster. The best performances come from Riley and Martin, who share the most chemistry and succumb to no cliches. It's a different kind of character study that leaves you thinking. If it's playing at your local art house theater, then check it out. Next up, Arco, the French animated film that returns to select theaters. I reviewed it last November when it had its limited award-qualifying release, and now I'm going to remind you on how good it is. There are two futures presented here. The young title hero is from a further future when people time travel in the form of rainbows, and he ends up in an earlier future when homes are protected by giant domes from hurricanes and forest fires and has robot assistants. We don't get much out of the first future, but we do see some creativity and ideas on what any future could be. Its American voices include Will Ferrell, Andy Samberg, Flea, Mark Ruffalo, America Ferrera, and Natalie Portman, who also produced it. And from my standpoint, the animation almost has that Yellow Submarine quality, especially when we have three brothers who look like they want to dress up as the Beatles, although I don't remember John, Paul, George, and Ringo wearing rainbow sunglasses. There are ideas that are better explored through animation than live action, and we wonder what the future could be. I, for one, am sick and tired of hearing about AI, but I'm glad Arco's future has less of them. If you missed your chance last November, you're given another chance now or soon enough depending on where you live. And now let's talk about some of the Oscar surprises and snubs. The ones that got picked and the snubs that deserve more credit than what the Academy has given them. The submissions include Sinners having the most nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director Ryan Coogler, and Best Actor Michael B. Jordan. In fact, with 16 nominations, it has broken the record of 14, previously made by All About Eve, Titanic, and La La Land. And we also have other firsts like Wagner Moura being the first Brazilian actor in the Best Actor category for his brilliant performance in The Secret Agent, and Amy Madigan hasn't been nominated in 40 years since Twice in a Lifetime, until now for her creepily delightful role in Weapons. But there are also omissions that have people talking, like Adam Sandler not being nominated for his supporting work in Jay Kelly. He has already proven himself that he can be serious as he can be funny with movies like Punch Drunk Love and Uncut Gems, and the Academy is overlooking him too much, and it ought to stop. And while moviegoers were complaining that Wicked for Good got no nominations, I was complaining that Sorry Baby got nothing, which is a pity because it introduced us to Eva Victor, who shines as a director and star, using pathos and comedy to represent her own experiences. These are some of the surprises and snubs, and there are always going to be praises and conflicts with moviegoers and critics alike. Now we have to wait until March to find out who wins. Recapping this week's new movies: thumbs up for Send Help, thumbs down for Shelter, thumbs up for Islands, and thumbs up for Arco. Well, those are the new movies I'm reviewing this week. I'm Christopher Zweig. Stay safe, and I'll see you at the movies.